Oh, hello, and welcome to Psychology with Braxton, starring Braxton. Now, today on this wonderful episode, we are going to be talking about sleep. So, I hope you don't have narcolepsy and don't randomly fall asleep, and that you can be able to keep your reticular formation working so that you can stay awake. Now, put on your sleeping caps, grab a blanket, and snuggle up as we discover sleep together. Much better. Time for sleep. As we enter stage 1 sleep, we have to consider a few things and not forget about stage 1. Ah ha ha ha. See, because it is common for people to not realize or forget that they entered stage 1 sleep. Now, as you sleep, try not to fall off the bed. Ah ha ha. That was another pun, because in stage 1, people often get sensations of falling. But, on a more serious note, stage 1 is the period of transition from relatively unsynchronized beta and gamma brainwaves, which is the normal range for the awake state, to more synchronized but slower alpha waves. Oh, would you look at the time? It's story time with Timmy. Hello, my name is Timmy, and I have a story for you. Once, there was a little boy named Jimmy. Jimmy was not getting much sleep and constantly felt tired. So he decided to see a doctor who told him he had insomnia, which causes problems for people who try to sleep but have a hard time getting to or staying asleep. Thank you, Timmy. Now, let's move on over to stage 2. Now, try not to get this all jumbled up and spun around. Ha 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 ha. Get it? Because in stage 2 sleep, it is common to find clusters of sleep spindles, which are short bursts of brain activity. I hope that wasn't too complex. Or should I say K-complex? Ha 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 ha. JK. A K-complex, which is high negative and positive peaks in brain activity. Well, would you look at the time? It's time for Story Time with Timmy. Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jimmy. Jimmy often woke up in the middle of the night, complaining of shortness of breath. He didn't know what to do, so he turned to the only person who could help him, the doctor. The doctor then told him that he had something called sleep apnea, which is where you stop breathing momentarily during your sleep. He finally got everything he needed so he could sleep happily ever after. Thank you, Timmy. Now, let's get on to Delta Airlines because we are flying to stage 3 and 4. Ha 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 ha. Get it? Because those stages is where Delta brainwaves appear. Now, I know how much everybody nowadays, with their fancy spandangle technologies, likes to keep up with everything and is always connected. However, during this time, in stage 3 and 4, you are essentially ignoring the whole world and unresponsive to most stimulus. We have one final stage for you guys before you leave, and I know you're sad that we had to rush over and move on from story time with Timmy because we just didn't have enough time. Now, let's rapidly go over REM. Ha 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 ha. Get it? Because REM is also known as rapid eye movement. Anyways, I bet you're spacing out and dreaming of something else, but you can do that in REM sleep because it is correlated often with dreams, as well as... Well, howdy there, partner. Today, we have a special episode of Psychology with Cowboy Rick. Today, we are joined by our special guest, Braxton, who is an expert in sleep study. Hello, thank you for having me today. Today, we are going to talk about sleepwalking, or scientifically known as somnambulism. Somnambulism is basically the act of performing tasks while asleep. Sleepwalking usually occurs 1 to 2 hours after falling asleep at night. Rarely, it may involve unusual behavior such as climbing out a window. Often, sleepwalking is a random and harmless event. However, treatment may be needed if it occurs often or causes injury. Medications and hypnosis may help. Mostly, this affects people who are pre-teen and affects mainly people between the ages of 3 to 13. Thank you for that, Mr. Hilton. Now, next time on Psychology with Cowboy Rick, we are going to be talking to a special guest named Sachio about that vestibular membrane. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us today as we went through the amazing world of sleep. Now remember, sleep is extremely important, so after you're done watching this episode, I suggest that you go to bed. Because as you can see, it's pretty dark out, and I think we could all benefit from a little sleep. Now, next time on Psychology with Braxton, we have a special episode, so look for that when you see the credits. And thank you, and have a good night.